One, it's Dr. Shiva. Today we're going to do a special series on a very interesting area that I've been interested in. A lot of you guys have been asking for me to do this, and it's going to be on how to support your pet's whole health. And we're going to take a systems approach. As many of you know, I have two dogs. I'm going to show you some puppy pictures of them when they were young. But we're really going to have this is going to be in a series. As you notice here, we're going to do a series. It's going to be a pet science series. And the goal of this is for me to give you an overview on a whole systems approach on how we need to start thinking about the different combinations of food, almost like a food set of cocktails. And I'm going to share with you the research that we've been doing and give you an insight to something cool that we put together. It's really a food-based product that you may find valuable. But and then every week, we're going to be doing each ingredient, different ingredients, how they affect different parts of your pet health. And then we'll also take how different ingredients affect different subsystems of your pet's health and how you can actually start combining ingredients. And obviously, everything I'm sharing with you, you should, a big disclaimer here, you should obviously communicate with your veterinarian. I'm not a veterinary doctor. I'm a systems biologist, an MIT PhD who does research in the field. But you're going to learn very quickly the research we're doing is using a very powerful technology engine that came out of my PhD work called Cytosolve. But our goal really here is to educate you on how to start thinking about health, even for your body, for your pet, for political systems. Every system you can think about are really systems, and there's a systems approach to health. So if we can do that and you can start thinking about your pet's health as a system, hopefully you can use those principles to start thinking about the world as a system. But everything's frankly a system. So let's jump into this. So again, today's conversation is how to support your pet's whole health, a system science approach, and it's part of our pet science series. Okay, so let me begin by telling you that this is a first in the series. It's an introduction to pet health series, and it's a whole systems approach. And let me, first of all, again, for clarity, any of the content I'm doing in this presentation is not intended to be a substitute for your professional veterinary advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You should always seek the advice of your veterinarian on any questions you may have regarding your medical conditions of your pet. But this is Sequoia when she was, I think, 8 weeks old. She's a girl on the left, and here's Geronimo. By the way, they're both from the same litter, but you couldn't tell they were. They're so different looking. But one set of puppies came looking like Sequoia here on the left, and the others came looking like Geronimo. And I was always, from a systems standpoint, interested in, what are the things that I needed to be aware of when I looked at these really cool beings. One is joint health. As if you particularly have animals who are larger, these guys are now about 80 to 90 pounds. And Geronimo's brother, we went to visit him. I mean, they're sort of a mixed breed of different animals, but his brother is actually 160 pounds. Okay, he's about 90. His brother's almost double his size. So joint health is obviously important. Immune health. The dog's immune health is directly connected to their aging systems, which we all know is also true for humans, as we've educated people on. Metabolic health, right? How they digest food, how they burn fat. Very, very important. The next one is bone health. Bone are related to joints, but they're also different. Bones are the actual bones. The joints are the connection between different, bones, the cartilage, and all those important things. Anti-parasitic. Many of you are probably aware that different parts of the world where you live, you need to be concerned about. There's always, everything in nature is competing, right? Some are symbiotic, some are parasitic. But that's an important thing to also, we live up in the Northeast. You have ticks, you have things called, which result in Lyme. But anti-parasitic was important. Brain health, right? Brain's neurology obviously connects with the eyes, right? All those important things. Skin health. This is one of the most important things probably many people face. Some dogs are very prone to certain allergies, right? Which is also, by the way, related to the immune health, but skin health is important. Anti-cancer, anti-carcinogenic. And then the other thing is heart health, cardiovascular health. So I was very, very interested because there's so many plants and foods out there. Was there a set of plants that you could put together that would accept all those? Now, just to give you a little bit of background, the pharmaceutical industry has no way of really constructing anything like for you or I, because they're all about just finding a single compound. They just want to find one single synthetic compound that can affect a particular biological pathway in your body to elicit a particular response, and also may elicit a lot of side effects. But when you look at a pharmaceutical company, they're not interested in the whole system. So they will find a compound, they'll do test tube testing on it, then they'll go do a bunch of testing in the animals, right? Killing dogs, animals, rats, etc., which I believe is completely unnecessary. This takes 6 years. Then they test on humans, 10 to 100 humans, 100 to 1,000 humans, and 1,000 plus. And this is called a phased trial of testing. And when I looked at this process in 2003, there's a very interesting challenge which said, hey, could you mathematically model the whole cell? Because if you could mathematically model the whole cell, you could take all these little molecular pathways, which are chemical reactions associated with any one of those functions, immune health, cardiovascular, skin health, connect them together, and then you could use a computer, it's really beyond AI, to model various biological functions. And that was a creation of Cytosolve, which was my PhD work, a very powerful technology that I created 16 years ago to do this. I wrote a very important paper on this. Took us about 3 years to get this published because no one had believed we really cracked the code on this. But nonetheless, we proved this to the world in over 16 years. This technology is very, very powerful. We've used it for all different areas, human health, animal health, etc. So Cytosolve has the ability to handle multiple compounds. So if you look at food, food is not just a single synthetic compound. It's made of many compounds. We can use Cytosolve without killing animals to understand how things work. And it's essentially the same way we used to build airplanes, right? We don't just go kill pilots. We can use a computer. So Cytosolve is really a platform for whole health for humans, whole health for animals, whole health for plants, actually. So we have the ability, what we did here is we took those ideas, all those areas, immune health, cardiovascular health, skin health, and we literally mined the literature, and we had gotten some very, very interesting feedback from a lot of our friends in the pet industry. Some of them had experimented with different ingredients that they found valuable, but they really didn't know why things worked. So we took all of those ingredients and papers, and then we put them through Cytosolve. And then we actually wrote a report. It was called A Whole Systems Approach to Pet Health. And what this resulted in was a combination of specific ingredients. So let me just take a step back and remind you of something, a principle that comes out of system science that's really, really important to understand. You see, system science recognizes that synergy, the concept of taking lots of little things and putting them together. That's why food is medicine. But if you can think about synergy as a principle of 1 + 1 = 10, right? Pharmaceutical companies' model is you just give one single compound, a little bit of it in a particular dosage, it hits a particular target, it's like a magic bullet, and it has an effect. Well, that can work, but it can also create all these side effects. But if you take much less dosage of lots of valuable compounds and you hit lots of different pathways, now you're creating an orchestral effect, right? Think about, you go to watch a big band, and you think there's going to be 100 different instruments, and all you see is some guy playing the drum. That's sort of like the pharmaceutical company, right? They just have one drum, one beat, and it may have a very particular effect for people who like percussion, but everyone else who doesn't like percussion, likes other things, is going to have sort of a problematic problem for them in their year, right? You could call that a side effect, okay? But when you start looking at the body as a complex system and the fact that you need many different compounds to turn on the orchestra in your body to have an ensemble effect. That's what it's called. Now you're working in a different realm, and that's why Cytosol is important for this. So what we have done here is we found those ingredients. There could be many others, but I want to share with you these some in this introductory talk today, because we're going to do a series. Don't forget, we're going to go through each of these ingredients, but we think we've come up with some very interesting combinations. So one of them is something called zeolite, and we'll go into details what zeolite is. It's really, you can think about it as a mineral, right? It's a thing that's used for detoxification. Zeolite helps pull stuff out of the body that could have negative effects. Okay, and we'll talk more about this. We'll do a separate lecture just on zeolite, but that's one of them. Okay, the other one is diatomaceous earth, and you can look this up. It's fascinating, diatomaceous earth, because it comes from the remnants of fossils from billions of years ago. So diatomaceous earth has some very, very powerful properties, a lot of minerals that can be very, very valuable for pet health, or in fact human health. Spirulina, again, it's a blue-green algae, has a lot of nutritional effects. Again, we'll do a whole series on spirulina and what it affects for pet health. Kelp is from the ocean, right? It's seaweed, lots and lots of minerals, and it also has very positive effects for the gut. Then you have MSM. MSM, as you can see, the chemical structure, methyl sulfonyl methane. Very good, again, for skin. And you can see the structure. It's sulfur, by and large, is always good for skin. John, I don't know if something's buzzing here on your phone. You may want to check it. So again, as you notice, there's a need for synergy here. So we want combinations of natural compounds. So MSM, is it right? Yeah. Okay, is a very, very powerful compound. The phone's okay, John? Yeah. Okay. So that's that. The next one is hawthorn leaf and flower. Again, you notice we're going from the mineral kingdom to the sea world. We're going to all different worlds, but this is from the hawthorn leaf and the flower. Again, very powerful effects for heart health, and we'll talk more about this in a follow-up one of the series. Fenugreek. Fenugreek is an Indian spice. Most Indians use it in many of the meals they make. Fenugreek has a lot of positive effects, again, for many things having to do with many of those subsystems I covered. Turmeric. Turmeric, you may know, is a very beautiful yellow spice. It's anti-inflammatory. It's anti-carcinogenic. It has effects on joint. It hits so many different subsystems. So our view was that too would be very valuable as a food. And then you have hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is great for joints, great for skin, etc. So when you look at all this, think about what you're looking at here. You're looking at all different of the Earth's amazing different kinds of things the Earth, nature have produced here, from fenugreek to kelp to spirulina to zeolite to diatomaceous earth to hawthorn. One of the things I forgot about here was red raspberry leaf. Okay. Red raspberry leaf is extremely important because red raspberry leaf has many, many properties that affect also some of those systems. So I just want you to take a look at that. So you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different, frankly, compounds of compounds, okay? Obviously, hyaluronic acid is a very specific compound. So is MSM, right? Same with zeolite. But if you look at all the others, the diatomaceous earth, the spirulina, the kelp, the red raspberry leaf, the hawthorn leaf and flower, the fenugreek and turmeric, these are really foods, right? Compounds of many compounds. And we'll discuss more of that. And so with our Cytosolve approach, the really cool thing I wanted to, as a side note, to let you guys know is that we put all of this together in literally something that we call Canine 701. You can get it up on the website if you want to go check it out at vashiva.com/shop/Canine 701. If you're going to get this, all you need is just one little teaspoon. If you have a 25-pound dog, if you have, a large dog like we do, our dogs are 75, 80, we do 3 teaspoons and you mix it in with their wet food. But again, the goal is, there's so much food, so many things you can give. To me, this is what was like an insurance for our dogs, because obviously we make food for our dogs, by the way. It may seem weird, but I don't trust a lot of the dog foods out there. So I typically make our dogs food, which involves some meat, either it's turkey or it's chicken, or let's say really good beef. We mix it with some type of whole grain, like if it's some of the combination grains, add some vegetables, and then I'll put a little bit of this in. But think about the potency of this stuff. It's really foods from all over the world, but a very small dosage. We're talking about a teaspoon. In India, there's a very, very interesting food called curry powder. And curry powder is a food among many foods. And over thousands of years, Indians learned that you do a little pinch of turmeric, a little pinch of, let's say, ginger, a little pinch of fenugreek, a little pinch of cardamom, and so on. But these little combinations of herbs give a very, very powerful effect because they hit multiple parts of the body. And that was really the goal here, to create something that would affect multiple subsystems. So there you go. So I just wanted to make this introductory because I just, my videos, I enjoy doing long videos, but I wanted to keep this short and just let you guys know we do care about pets. I take care of my pets, and I'm sure you want to. And by the way, you can apply this to many, many different kinds of animals. But starting tomorrow and the next day, I will take each one of those compounds that I've shared here, each one of these compounds, and we'll literally go through each one of them. Now, some of these compounds, one second, John saying I'm not sharing. Thanks, John. Some of these compounds do not affect, do not just affect one subsystem. Like turmeric affects 3 subsystems, right? Hawthorn leaf affects multiple subsystems. So we're going to have a ton of content coming our way for pets, because you're really going to start learning how different foods affect different subsystems. And we'll also go way beyond this. But my intention was that this would start really giving you a knowledge base to do research. But remember, for every compound that we look at, not compound, but every food really, we're going to run it through cytosol. So you're going to understand which pathways it hits, why it works, etc. Anyway, everyone, I hope that was valuable. I hope this was good. And I hope it helps you, do better in taking care of your pets if it gives you a perspective. One of the things before I sign off, I'm going to play a quick video that many of you know. We've also used the Cytosolve engine for helping human health. And one of the cool products that we created for that was MV25. We'll play that here. We created this product. We manufactured it. We used Cytosolve and we sold out. And we're just happy to let you know that we got more. So you guys, if you want more, it's here. But MV25 as a video shares is, again, a multi-systems approach. And that's really the goal here. No one ingredient can affect the whole system. So the more we figure out the alchemy of how to combine, that really makes us into some ways, quote unquote, alchemists, and Cytosolve is the engine for that scientific alchemy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be well, be the light. Thank you.
Millions of people suffer every day from painful discomfort and swelling, but most pain medications come with harsh side effects, and many alternative supplements have little scientific backing. That's why we at Cytosolve created MV25. MV25 was formulated using the Cytosolve Computational Systems Biology Platform, a technology for precision and personalized health invented by Dr. Shiva during his doctoral research at MIT. This formulation is the result of computing trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions derived from thousands of peer-reviewed scientific papers published across 4 decades by 68 research institutions to discover an optimal synergy of compounds that downregulate biomarkers of discomfort and normal swelling.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ann. My hands would cramp up so that I couldn't hold cards or knit or crochet. And they would go like that. And I'd have to use this when I played cards with my grandkids. And I started taking that MV25. After a bit, I was able to hold cards in my hand. Very, very little cramping, hardly at all anymore. MV25.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I tore my ACL during Taekwondo. I had a lot of pain and limited mobility. I've been taking the MV25 for about 6 months now. After the first week, I noticed a big difference. After the second week, almost literally no pain.
My name is Jeremy, and I suffer from a lower back problem. Hurt my back at work years ago, and I can go to the chiropractor, do all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to help. And I decided to try MV25. I didn't notice a difference immediately, but within a few days, the pain went away, and it stayed away. I've continued to take it, and even when I do things that I shouldn't do, it seems to go away a lot quicker than it ever did before.
MV25 is certified clean, 100% non-GMO, made in America, and GMP certified for good manufacturing practices. MV25 is Cytosolve optimized, which means that this formula has been engineered to maximize benefits while minimizing toxicity based on current research curated by Cytosolve. As the science advances, so will this formulation. This is our promise. Order online at mv25.life. Consult your doctor before taking any supplement or medication and use as directed. MV25.
All right, everyone, I hope that was valuable. And by the way, I got a bunch of people asking me where they get the K9 701. So if you want to get K9 701, let me just share this again. All you have to do is you simply go, again, we just launched this, but you can go to, let me go to the website here. You can go to right here. Where is it? I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, you can go to vashiva.com/shop/K9701. It's right up here. Okay, and enjoy. But we want to make this really a educational series, so you understand the entire philosophy that we take from a systems approach to understand this. And by the way, all of you who are new here, go to truthfreedomhealth.com. Every week we have an incredible open house where you can meet lots and lots of different people from all over the world. We do it at 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. RSVP at vashiva.com/orientation. And you will actually get introduced to this entire systems approach. And the systems approach you can use for your body, you can use for politics, you can use for deciding who to hire, who to do business with. You can use it for anything, right? It's a very powerful approach to understand the world of systems, and everything in the world is a system. Be well. Have a good night.